What's up, Western Iowa Tech students? I have two special guests today with me, Project Siouxland. They also work at Western Iowa Tech Community College. And this is Chuck Polk and Jennifer Hoff. How y'all doing?
All right, how are you?
Good. So here it is. I love the backdrops. You know, I like that he has the pops in the back, right? He has the Hawaiian shirt on. And Jennifer, you got this backdrop going on. For some reason, it's reminding me of the Wizard of Oz.
It's actually Harry Potter, which I will disappear for a second. I am a Harry Potter nerd. I love Harry Potter.
Hey, I'm a sneaker guy. And I got pops too, but only Batman.
Yeah, and those are all Lord of the Rings. Well, there's a couple Doctor Who, but that's all Lord of the Rings, and then that's also Lord of the Rings and Hobbit.
Man, you know what I really love is that just like myself and you two, you know, we grew up, right? But we still have our toys with us. You know, we still are intrigued by stuff that we had when we were younger. And I just think that's an accomplishment, and that's an advantage, I think, you know. So now
I got a lot of stuff I played with when I was a kid still.
Yeah.
Yep.
Star Wars figures. Yeah, dude. It's just crazy, man. I got a Jawa, but I lost the plastic cape, so it's not worth the money anymore because I lost the cape. But anyway, we won't get into that, but what we're going to do is talk about Project Siouxland. So I got questions for both of y'all. So I'm starting with you, Chuck. Chuck, how did you end up in the position that you're at? How bring us from when you went to college to where you're at now.
Oh, wow. So I went to college a little while ago. And I intended on being a teacher, but I took a detour along the way. And so after I finished my bachelor's, I went to seminary, working in a church for several years, and decided I liked the teaching, but maybe not so much some of the other parts that go along with it. So I went back to school on other graduate work, trying to figure out what I would teach. And that led me to USD and doing English. And while I was there, I had the chance to do some adjuncting at WIT and really loved the community college.
Nice.
And so as everything worked out, they somehow decided to actually give me a full-time job this year. So I am teaching him.
Man, I like your personality, man. You're pretty loud and down to earth, it seems to me, man. I think you'd be a great asset. Right? And Jennifer, you thought I was going to let you off the hook.
Never.
So why don't you give us your story, Jen?
From college? Oh, okay. I was gonna say I went to college straight out of high school, got a little off track myself, ended up working for approximately 10 years, went back to school at USD in my late 20s. And I originally was going to be a research librarian. I love doing research. I like to say the total trifecta. I am a nerd, a dork, and a geek. All three of them. But then I ran into my communication studies professor to go to grad school for communication. And then he also told me I needed to apply at WIT. And so I started adjuncting for WIT in 2014 and then managed a grant and got hired full time. So I actually do two jobs at Western Iowa Tech. I still teach. And that's how I'm here for Project Siouxland, but I also full-time help train other teachers. So I work in faculty development as well.
And you're also a club advisor. I think both of y'all are getting into the clubs and stuff. And maybe we can get into that at the end. You know, I like to say that I'm a nerd. I'm a geek, but I just happen to play football, right? So that was maybe my saving thing where people didn't, get on me or whatever. But I just didn't. I wasn't in the band. I just was on the football team, But I am so geeky, right? And I am proud of it, right? I think that we are providers. But anyway, I won't get into that. So Project Siouxland. Who wants to take the stab at it? Who wants to tell me what Project Siouxland is?
You want to start?
I started with it first, so I suppose it should probably be me. So Project Siouxland is a collaboration that started inside college, and the first semester of it was last fall. And what it is it takes students from both college campuses and it puts them together in a combined classroom experience that's actually outside of the class. The community becomes the classroom, and we work on projects. So far, we've worked on community projects with community partners, where, for instance, we worked with the American Red Cross, we've worked with United Way, we've worked with Sertoma, Camp High Hopes, all of these community partners. The students get to work on things that are happening right now that have real value in the community, while earning college credit. So I teach public speaking through it. They do presentations, and instead of doing traditional public speaking where you stand in front of a class, present a speech 5 different times on 5 different topics, the presentations come out of the project itself. So they presented to, community partners, they presented to the college, they presented to each other a little bit as practice, but it really was a natural thing. So along the way of doing these projects, they get to earn all of these college credits and get some real life experience instead of waiting till after college for the real life experience.
We knew this was going to happen. We knew that we were going to have to take it out of the classroom, right? We seen it coming, and I think nobody's prepared for it more than a community college, right? Yeah. And our partners, Morningside, as well, too. Did she miss anything, Chuck?
No, she covered with the class she teaches. I taught this last spring, I taught Intro to Ethics. So while students were working with groups like United Way, Red Cross, and there was the Kindness Initiative and Camp High Hopes. We're talking about the values that they add to the community, what makes them good, why they're good. So it was the kind of conceptual thinking you do in an ethics class, we were putting it right into like where it matters and how it affects real world, concepts and things in a classroom. We were trying to make it apply to our lives because that's what the class is supposed to do. So
are the students that's coming, are the adult students, or does it range all over the place?
Typically they are first-year students, but that doesn't mean, because we teach our students especially come from a community college, so we have a wide range of first-year students.
Wow.
Out of high school. Some of them are much older, have children, have jobs. It adds a lot of variety to it. Morningside students, I believe it is a freshman class for them. So they are all first-year students.
Okay.
You get a couple second year.
Okay, that seems like it mushes pretty good. Pretty good. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Leadership Siouxland. And going out and getting real experience and partnering with people and taking 2 organizations and introducing them to each other. Kind of sounds like that, except maybe a little quicker. Usually Leadership Siouxland is already professional people in it. And this seems like these are students that are wanting to become professional one day and getting a lot of experience while they're doing so.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
And so can you one of you can tell me a great story that's come out of Project Siouxland, and how about a not so great story that ended up being a good story at the end, though? Don't leave us all the way down in the dumps. Yeah.
I don't.
I'll do the good story. I've been at it longer.
Yep,
So when we originally started with this, we were a little concerned about the whole meshing of 4-year and 2-year students being together, whether they would actually see each other as, the same level.
Amen.
And last fall, I would say about halfway through the semester, there was no differentiation between I'm a Morningside student, I'm a WIT student. And we had a presentation to people from the community in both colleges at the end of the semester, and we had to remind them to identify themselves as Morningside or WIT, and some of them just forgot and they just introduced themselves. And I think that was really cool because it really does show that community college is on the same level as the first 2 years of any college. So I'm a little biased towards community college. Also, we got to work with really cool faculty on both sides. So Kim Christofferson was the main faculty member last fall. She's this spring with Dave Madsen. And then coming up in fall, we're going to have Kim again and Susie Lubers.
Wow. Wow.
And her again.
You know, and it just goes to show you, you know, through my time being in higher education, I know someone from Briar Cliff, Morningside, USD, Iowa State, University of Iowa, and UNI, and they all started at Western Iowa Tech Community College, right? And they got the same degree as everybody else that went to those colleges, except when they got the bill, we don't need to discuss that because you know the bill was cheaper, right? You know the bill was cheaper. So you guys, if I was a student and I wanted to become a part of Project Siouxland, you know, what would my first steps be?
Right. So, yeah. So I know that sounds straightforward. But this fall, we will have a Comp 1 section that I'll be teaching, and Jennifer will be doing public speaking again. Mm-hmm. And you will just need to make sure that you register for that section of the class. Advisors should know which sections are Project Siouxland. Okay. And it's such a thing that you can actually take public speaking and Comp 1 at the same time in Project Siouxland, so that then you're actually getting space of one, which is a unique opportunity for our students.
I'm favorite.
It seems like you guys are doing a really good job of offering our students unique situations. You know, that's a pretty good thing. So moving on, I was going to ask you guys this at the beginning, but how are y'all coping, right? What does Chuck and Jennifer do at home when this Corona thing is everywhere and you're sick of working and you just got to self-quarantine from your own family? You know, what gets you through?
So most of my time is actually work around. The sliding door in our patio broke and I replaced it. Right. So there's stuff around the house that I've been doing. But if I have to get away from everybody, I end up reading. I started another series, fantasy series by R.A. Salvatore. And then Amanda Sesterhen, one of our biology instructor, right? Biology, it was science, and I was sure I was going to miss it and identify the wrong one. She introduced me to a whole nother author, and I've been collecting books and waiting for one of that series to show up. So I'm adding to my reading pile is really what I'm doing.
Adding to your repertoire. Hey, so Jen, what about you?
I am what is nicely called a TV addict. I consume television. So right now I have a tendency to like start new stuff and then also rewatch shows that I've seen 1,000 times. I just finished rewatching Grey's Anatomy way through from the beginning for like the 5th time, I think. And there's now, and so it takes a while. And then I am rewatching One Tree Hill right now. And then I'm starting, what is it Amy suggested? Zoe's Infinite something playlist. It's on Hulu.
Okay.
But yeah, I watch a lot of TV. I really enjoy stories. I can relax more when I don't have to think so much. And so television has become my relaxation.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm a TV watcher too, and I actually read as well. I
do read, I swear.
You know, I get into the TV. I'm gonna go totally off subject, but you know, Grey's Anatomy, Chicago Med, The Good Doctor, man, they are evil. They be doing crazy stuff to each other, man. You know, and I don't think doctors are really that way, but oh my God, their egos are just out of control. But it's just movies, right? Or it's series.
Good drama, though.
Yeah, it's drama. So of course, nothing wrong with doctors. You can do, you know, you guys are probably the greatest people. So just didn't want to get in trouble by saying that, right? So
Especially right now.
right, because they're like on the front
We
line,
love nurses.
right? Yeah, amen. And this week was also Nurse Appreciation Week as well. You know, so shouts out to our nurses. That's what's up. So here we go. So if you know the students that are in your lives right now, what would you tell them? If you can say something to them for maybe 3 or 4 sentences, you know, what would it be? And that's the last thing you can tell them. So after you tell them this, you can't say anything else. So it's got to be right on spot the first time. I give you a few seconds to think about that.
A lot of pressure.
Okay. No matter this semester, you have shown that you can handle anything. So the next time that you feel like you can't do something, back and realized you went to school, work, you went to class, and you did all of that, and then a pandemic happened and everything shifted, and you still managed to make it through. So
facts. Wow.
That's what I would say.
Oh, that was like a good, you met the ball on that one with the crack of the bat. Yeah.
I can't follow that.
You ever say, Chuck, you're up to the plate next, man. You got to like at least get on base.
Yeah. So I actually had something similar this morning. So I'll try to told one of my students whose family is not doing very well. Mother tested positive corona with for the coronavirus, and it's really like there are more important things in school, right? Like I get it. I think our college and our education does huge things for our lives, but it's a thing to get us into our lives, and sometimes we lose sight of that because we think it's everything. And there are okay to pause school or realize that I can't write this essay right now because somebody's not doing well and I need to be there to take, right? Like schooling is important, it builds our future, but we can't ignore the fact that we have lives and concerns to be building and supporting while we're doing that, right? Like,
wow. So I just threw a pitch at you, and look at me. I threw a pitch. Whoa, man. Whoa, you hit that too. So check this out, you guys. This is what I want to say to you guys is that, you know, I want to speak to the students too, is look at the type of people we have at Western Iowa Tech. You know, these 2 individuals that I'm talking to right now are quite colorful, right? Quite colorful and jolly. I mean, look at the backdrops that you're looking. Yeah. I mean, wouldn't that be a cool person to help you maneuver through your life as far as college is concerned? I mean, what better choice than to have someone that's down to earth, colorful, and kind of been through some different things? I was just giving y'all like shots out right there.
And then whenever we get back on campus, you have to visit me in my office because I have more of this type of stuff.
Oh yeah, he does.
Oh wow. I'm going to have to do that. I took all of my Batmans out of the box and they're like on the shelves back there. I probably shouldn't have did that. I should have learned with my Star Wars characters, you know, not to freaking take them out the box. But anyway, you know, we really appreciate what you guys do, especially working from home. It is a challenge, and you guys were all dealing with, you know, eventually, is there a job for us when we get back? You know, especially if you're part of a grant program, or, you know, we actually had to lay off some people before this happened. You know, thankful to have a job. But I tell you what, I think it's stress on everybody, from the student to the teacher that's teaching the students to the administration. Everybody is just kind of unsure right now. But I tell you what, you guys are making me laugh. And I think the people who are watching this interview, just the backdrop it just lightens up the mood, right? And I really appreciate that. So with that being said, is there anything else that you guys want to say to our student population, or even students that are considering coming to Western Iowa Tech?
now's the time to sign up for classes. Don't wait.
Yeah, do it. Come join us.
Yeah, and you guys, go ahead, Chuck.
I was going to say I have a whole slate of Intro to Ethics, Mythology, Intro to Humanities, Comp 1. I love teaching my students in multiple different ways. So,
well, I can tell. You know, I can tell. I've been in this industry for 23 years. I got hired at Western Iowa Tech right out of grad school. You guys, I can tell. I know what it looks like. You know, I know what it looks like, and you two look like that you're on fire to help students. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
thank you.
Hey, Jen, you want to say anything before we exit out of here?
In support of Project Siouxland, I would say come join us, come register for Project Siouxland. It will give you an experience unlike any that you've ever had before, and you'll get a leg up on already learning skills that will serve you throughout the rest of your life. And you get to hang out with Chuck and I. So
that's what's up. You guys, we've been meeting students where they're at since 1966. If anybody's able to do this and carry students past this and still get them education, it's definitely Western Iowa Tech Community College. Shouts out to Morningside, since, you know, they're a part of this conversation as well. I don't want to.
They are.
Yeah, you know, so a school to possible transfer to. So that's a good thing. So to all of our students, stay social, but at the same time, stay distant. And yeah, and hopefully we'll see you over the summer possibly, but definitely in the fall. And be safe and God bless. Peace out, you guys.
Bye.